for joining us today. We're very excited to take you somewhere that very few people ever have the opportunity to experience Antarctica. For many travelers, Antarctica isn't just another destination, it's a once in a lifetime journey that sits at the very top of their bucket list. But sailing Antarctica can also raise a lot of questions for travel advisors. Which expedition company should I recommend? What makes one itinerary different from the other? 6, 7. Is it safe? What kind of clients are the best fit? How do I set realistic expectations? Today, we're fortunate to have the team from Terra Nova Expeditions who will take us behind the scenes of a true expedition cruising. You will learn about their expedition philosophy, their purpose built vessels, what guests actually experience each day, sustainability efforts, safety and health protocols, super important. And also you can confidently, match the right clients with this incredible adventure. Please make sure to type your questions in the chat as we go, and I will be asking during the presentation, and if not, I will make sure to at the end we have a Q&A also open questions there. So with that, I would like to welcome my friends from Terra Nova Expedition, Ross Avenel, the head of global sales, and Amanda Hunter, the operations manager. Welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the warm introduction. Amanda and I greatly appreciate that, and we're excited to showcase Terra Nova Expeditions to you today. So to get started, just a little bit of background on myself. I was recently appointed into this role after spending over 7 years with another expedition cruise operator here in North America. I have a huge, strong passion for the polar regions, but especially Antarctica. And I actually have done some research for my master's degree into the transformational experiences of travel advisors, specifically in the Antarctic region, which was hugely enlightening, as you can imagine. I'm really driven by sustainable travel experiences, experiences that change the way that we look at our planet. And I really believe that the experiences that Terra Nova has put together will enable to help your customers and your clients experience Antarctica in a really intimate way. Over to you, Amanda.
Thank you, Ross, and hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here alongside Ross and with all of you. Like Ross mentioned, I am the ops manager for Terra Nova Expeditions. My background is a little bit varied, but the last 10 years or so, I've been what they call a bipolar guide, going from South Pole area to North Pole just throughout the year, back and forth, and it turned into my career. From an operational side as a guide, I've stepped into now a bit more behind the scenes with Terra Nova, and I'll tell you, after working with a huge variety of ships, all sizes from 12 packs to 600, Terra Nova is doing things differently, and that's why I'm here. I'm really passionate about the product. I'm passionate about the road we have laid out ahead of us, and I'm excited to share with you all a little bit more about what we do. So I'll let Ross take it away.
Well, to help us set the scene a little bit and try and take you to Antarctica the best that we can in a presentation like this, I wanted to show you one of my favorite photographs of Antarctica taken in the Le Maire Channel back in December a couple of years ago. The Le Maire Channel is one of the most famous and visually dramatic waterways that exists in Antarctica. It's actually described as the Kodak Gap because of how incredibly photogenic it is. But this is just some of the scenery that your clients can expect to see while exploring Antarctica. So importantly, who is Terra Nova Expeditions? Well, this is our CEO, Greg Carter, which some of you may know. Greg, as he was the co-founder of Chimu Adventures, which was sold to Intrepid some years ago. Greg has years of experience in the polar tourism industry. He's guided countless trips to Antarctica. He's also been the Chief Commercial Officer at Albatross Expeditions for many years. And Greg is very, very hands-on. He has a true passion for Antarctica, the oceans, history, just to name a few things. And we're really proud to be an independently owned expedition company. We pride ourselves on offering unique small ship adventures in Antarctica. And we believe in the transformational power of immersive, respectful journeys that create that really deep human connection with the world's most pristine wilderness that Antarctica is. I think we appeal to those that are seeking more than just a typical cruise. Those people who really yearn for a genuine expedition experience. And we position ourselves not just as a travel provider per se, but as a family of explorers, conservationists, advocates working together to protect one of Earth's last great wildernesses, while sharing its wonder with those who hopefully will help to preserve it for future generations as well. Just a little bit of background on who we are as an organization. So I've mentioned Greg. We have Nick, our Chief Financial Officer, myself, of course, Andrea, who looks after brand and communications for Terra Nova. You've just met Amanda, so she's all things day-to-day operations amongst many other things that she does in the organization. Anne, who's our head of reservations. Lauren, who assists Anne, and she's based in Melbourne, Australia. Claire, who looks after our marketing and partnerships. Millie, who looks after business development for the Latam region. And Neil Drake, who is our polar community consultant as well. Amanda.
That brings us to our expedition team. Now, I'm really proud of this facet of Terra Nova. We have a really unique placement within the expedition industry of just the quality of guides we have on board. We have 100% of our guides having Antarctic experience, which for an operator, it's pretty good. And they are all senior level guides coming from a huge variety of backgrounds from around the world. We have multiple PhDs, master students, we have ornithologists, marine mammalogists, we have glaciologists, historians, you name it, Antarctica-wise, Antarctic experts, we will have them on board. So a huge array of phenomenal, fascinating human beings that become really the heartbeat of your experience. So this team is not only experienced, they put safety at the forefront of everything we do. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. But yeah, the expedition team is definitely something we are proud to show off.
Sounds wonderful.
Thanks, Amanda. So our values as an organization, they're built on 4 pillars. So science and sustainability. We've engaged with universities throughout the world to be able to expose our guests to real research that's being conducted, and also allow them to participate in things like data collection, participating in the research that's going on board the ship, as well as our citizen science projects that we're invested in as well. The mission, of course, is to just explore with purpose. So this means that we provide experiences that are thrilling, they're adventurous, but we're also doing it in a way that protects and conserves that delicate environment that we're operating in as well. We offer all-in-one adventure, so I'll elaborate on that just a little bit more as we work through the slides here. And also our years of experience. So we cheaply like to sort of tout ourselves as being the newest but most experienced expedition company in the world. And we achieve that by having every member of our staff having been involved in polar operations to some extent. And if we combine all of those years of activity in the polar realm, it's 100+ years of experience that we bring to the company.
Wow.
So a big question about why Terra Nova. So Terra Nova expedition does come first. We want it to feel authentic. We want it to feel immersive. And we want to leave all of our passengers deeply connected to the places that we explore. So Terra Nova combines high expedition intensity with accessible pricing, which therefore creates a really unique spot in the Antarctic market as well. We have decades of polar expertise and a truly unique fleet. We focus on the destination, not the ship. Our small groups and all-inclusive approach ensure that we have no hidden costs, just really meaningful moments led by passionate specialists. We protect, conserve, and educate every step of the way as well. So if your clients are seeking more than just a cruise, something that's real, something that's human or transformative, that's really what Terra Nova Expeditions is all about. So our core principles, well, we are focused on getting everyone off the ship as often as we possibly can. The focus is more on the off-ship experience. We take just 98 passengers on our voyages, and that less than 100 people means that we have more landings, faster operations, better wildlife access, and a really true expedition atmosphere. So while we provide a very comfortable onboard experience, I'd say, our goal is to create an authentic and intimate experience with the environment and your fellow expeditioners as well, and not just focus on extravagance. So we aim to avoid discount wars, which I'm sure you'll all be thrilled to hear about, by protecting our pricing integrity through consistency and being all-inclusive. And this also means predictable pricing, strong commissions for you as travel advisors, and no undercutting as well. So our priority is to create intimate partnerships with key trade partners like yourself. And who is a Terra Nova Expeditions passenger? Well, we have attracted really curious and engaged travelers, obviously premium FIT passengers as well, couples, families, active adults, and groups of passengers as well. We have a lot of groups that are joining us over the next couple of seasons. People who value meaning and an authentic experience over luxury. We also appeal to student groups as well, and we do that through our Antarctic classroom program, and also guests who want comfort without the crowds. One of the most important things, obviously, for, I would say, all organizations, or at least it should be, is our sustainability initiatives. So Terra Nova, we travel lightly. We have small ships with low impact operations to protect Antarctica and the fragile ecosystem that it is. We're really science-led, so onboard experts, research partnerships, and hands-on citizen science projects. We have responsible operations, so efficient engines, reduced emissions. We don't use any single plastics, and we sustainably source our products on board. We focus on people and planet, so we support our local communities. We're about all-inclusive hiring and also staff charity initiatives as well. And we have a really long-term commitment, which is guided through our Earth Sustainability Program, which is aligned with global sustainability goals. So just to talk through that Earth program just a little bit to provide some more context to that, the E stands for education for exploration. So every passenger is briefed on the Antarctic ecosystem, IATO protocols before they step ashore. The A is for action for climate. We actively support climate monitoring and offset programs that go beyond what the regulatory compliance is. The R is reducing our footprint. So small ships, small groups, fewer passengers per site means less impact per visit every time that we visit. T, together for communities, we invest in the sub-Antarctic and gateway communities that make polar expeditions possible. And the H is for healthy oceans. So strict biosecurity on every voyage and active support for citizen science programs at sea as well. So we're really, really proud of all of these initiatives. And for the health and safety portion, I'm going to pass over to my esteemed colleague.
Amazing. Thank you, Ross. Yes, health and safety. So it's definitely a priority for Terra Nova Expeditions. And being a priority, we utilize the best of the best in terms of who we hire and use for crewing. So yes, there is the Terra Nova Expedition team, but the larger team is handled by a crewing agency. And that crewing agency we rely on and trust. It's called Columbia Cruise Services. They have been in the expedition cruise industry for over 25 years and provided exceptional expedition and safety and health protocols for ships around the fleet. They are top of the line, best of the best, and we trust them for keeping the ship safe, clean, and our staff and passengers in a positive well-being state. So on board, the cleanliness is definitely top notch. We have hand sanitizer all over the ship, disinfection of high touch surfaces. We have a strict protocol on how we wash linens and other sorts of fabrics and towels throughout the ship. In terms of biosecurity on and off the ship, there is a whole other protocol that we utilize through IATO, which is the organization that manages tourism in Antarctica. So we have a biosecurity protocol where we actually have to sanitize all things that go outside. And that's another story, but just know we are very strict with these protocols. And in terms of your well-being as a guest and your health, we have an onboard infirmary where we have a very good doctor that is going to be on call 24/7 on top of your expedition team. So your expedition team, every single one of them is trained at the minimum with wilderness first aid and first response. Some are EMTs, others have some kind of training in between, but they are all well equipped to take care of all sorts of medical emergencies. We also make sure that all guests go through a pre-embarkation health screening. This lets us know if there's anything to keep an eye out for embarkation and forward along their journey. We have standard operating procedures written out for every activity and everything that we do as an operator. So these are all procedures that are in a big library, and they lay out exactly how to handle emergencies. And our team is well equipped and ready to handle these procedures as needed. That brings along the medevacs. Of course, Antarctica is remote and it is far away from everything. So being sure about how emergencies are handled is something we as an operator are confident in and proud of, how these procedures are laid out and what we have in our back pocket if we need it. Of course, we hope we don't, but we are ready if we do. There was a question that came up, and I wanted to just talk about the elephant in the room, and that is indeed hantavirus. We all heard about it. It was in the news. It was a situation that did indeed affect another operator's vessel, a virus that broke out, and it affected a few of the guests on board. And so I did want to bring this up and talk about the relevance within the Antarctic cruise industry. This was a pretty rare thing for us to have seen happen. The facts. I wanted to let you all know the facts. So what happened is that this virus broke out on board, and it was transmitted through a viral strain that is nowhere near Ushuaia. Ushuaia is the port town that we take off from. It's in the southern end of Tierra del Fuego, and that virus it's found very, very far away from Ushuaia. So the person who contracted the virus did not get it from Ushuaia, anywhere near Ushuaia. They brought it with them from far away in the Andes, and it's a very rare strain, and it is not presumed to have any effect on the Antarctic tourism industry. So I just want everyone to take a deep breath about hantavirus. It's not going to be the next COVID-19, and we do have protocols in place for us as operators on how to manage that if it did come into fruition. But as the operations manager, I do not suspect that's going to be something we are going to need to worry about. So with that, rest assured, safety is our number one priority before anything else. For all operations, we ensure that they are safe before proceeding every single time, every time. So that is something we stand by and will continue to stand by. We are members of IATO, which we are really proud to be. We went and got initiated in just a couple months ago. So we are official IATO members, which is the gold standard for operations in Antarctica. And they basically help us manage and truly dictate how we run in a very safe and environmentally respectful manner throughout the region. So yeah, I think that's us in a nutshell. Ross, if there's anything I've missed, please feel free to add.
No, that's great. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you for that, Amanda.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a super important piece, and so thanks for covering that, Amanda. So talking about why Antarctica, well, one of the great things about Antarctica is that fewer than 150,000 people actually visit the White Continent each year, but which sounds like quite a lot. But if you put that into context, like that is roughly the capacity of a modern sports stadium and it's also roughly the amount of visitors that go to the Great Wall of China every single day during peak season. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's really not a lot of people that head down there. Those who do go there, they try and describe it, but they just say nothing prepares you for it. And one of the interesting things during my Antarctic research, when I was asking these questions of travel advisors, they would simply just say, you can't describe it, or it was like we'd been transported to another planet. And I think it really is like that. So traveling to Antarctica isn't about ticking off another destination. It really is about experience a place that fundamentally just changes who people are and how they see the planet. I think the scale, the silence, the wildlife that's never learned to fear humans is just mind blowing. So it's been a destination that traditionally could only be accessed by the elite, but Terra Nova is really shifting that reality, and it's making Antarctica accessible and affordable to a whole new generation of passenger. And seriously, why wouldn't you want to go and see these little beauties? They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to pass back over to Amanda for this next couple of slides, and she's going to talk to us about the seasons of Antarctica and what a typical day, if you can call it that, is while you're down there as well.
Thank
Is
you,
that
Ross.
is that the penguin from Happy Feet?
It
Because they
could,
look
Inspired.
they look like.
it could be if you want it to be.
Yeah.
Uh, Thanks, Ross. So, one of my favorite things about guiding in Antarctica is that I've actually gotten to experience the ever changing seasons of Antarctica year after year. And I'll tell you, it's one of my favorite things to observe and experience because you go there in October, late October, early November, and it is just pristine snow and ice as far as you can see. And yeah, it feels like an absolute fairy tale. It's incredible. It's white. The mountains are covered in snow, tons of ice, and at this time, all of the penguins are coming back to their nesting sites from a long winter out at sea. And when I first experienced this, it's thousands of penguins jumping out of the ocean back onto land, and it feels like the Great
Wow.
Migration in the Serengeti. It's phenomenal. So early season has its own magic associated with it. Then you look at the mid season, which is late December to January, and that in itself, I mean, biologically and environmentally, ecologically, you have what we call the bloom. And this bloom is a phytoplankton that is exploding all around the Antarctic, uh, basically around the Antarctic circumpolar current. And this bloom is what feeds all life in Antarctica. And all the animals follow food. And so when a lot of people think about Antarctica, they think of it as a desert, as a desolate, ice covered place. But no, it is one of the most biodiverse and abundant places on the planet. And it's all thanks to this plankton. And that plankton comes about mid season. So not only are you seeing all these penguins feeding, you're seeing seals getting really fat and hauling out, you're seeing whales from truly around the entire globe coming down half the distance of the planet just to feed on that plankton and that krill. So it's a pretty neat thing to experience. You're also going to see mid-season some of those little penguin chicks popping out of their shells, and that's a miracle in itself. So mid-season is great, but then late season, another fantastic part of the year because all the snow starts to melt. These chicks are growing up, they're learning how to swim. All of the seals are getting hungry. They're going to start feeding on all of these chicks that are in the ocean all of a sudden. So there's a lot of really exciting Discovery Channel like visuals to experience right in front of you all around the peninsula. And the whales. End of season is infamous for the presence of whales. So if you want to see whales, and I call it sometimes it feels like you're going out on a zodiac and you're in whale soup. And there's just so many whales all around you breathing and fluking, and it's phenomenal. So truly there's no right time to go. I think you just have to decide for yourself what you are after and what your clients are after and what part of this season is important for them to experience.
Well, I like that you're presenting it like this with the early, the mid, and the late season, because sometimes people think that going to Antarctica will be like a one thing. Like I
Mm.
go there, been there, done that. But we have three different seasons that people should experience, correct?
Technically,
Because you
it's
have
all the
experience.
same season, but yes, different sections of the season. So it's all summer in
So
Antarctica.
they could plan the early and the mid, and next one will be mid and late, so that the client could go maybe 2 times to experience different things,
Hmm. Absolutely.
You can go
right?
10 times and never experience the same thing twice. Yeah, no doubt.
I like that answer more. I just want the advisors to I just want the advisors to understand that, sometimes people, that when you offer something, people might say, "Oh, I already did Antarctica." So
Mm-hmm.
it's great that you are presenting this type of information, because that will help the advisors sell it better.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem. Um, yeah, so that's the overall of the season kind of outlay. Now, a lot of you might be thinking about, okay, what does your everyday look like? Now, one of my favorite expedition leaders I've ever worked with, she got up front in front of 200 guests on board, and she took the itinerary and the schedule and basically just ripped it in half and said, I want you to forget everything you thought we were going to do. And remember, you are on an expedition, and no 2 days are the same. With that, we do have a tentative schedule, and that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. So we have a plan, but that plan often will change due to wildlife sightings, due to weather conditions, due to opportunities to get you off the ship. So we might have breakfast from 7 to 8, but at 8:30 instead of a morning excursion, we might change locations because there's an amazing pod of orcas to check out down the Gurlas Channel, and it happens to be really close. So things change really quickly. So coming on these trips with an open mind and not sticking to a cruise-like schedule mentality is, I think, a really important facet here.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Amanda. So yeah, I just have included some pictures that I just love, and just to try and take you to the destination, um, and try and get you to get a sense of what it must feel like to be amongst these things. Experiencing Antarctica, obviously from Zodiac, which is just a standard part of our overall offering. Being given the opportunity to see the whales, and also participate in our citizen science project, Happy Whale, where we photograph whale flukes for tracking and scientific purposes. Going on a snowshoe during that part of the season. Going for a hike, which we provide for all participation levels as well. And also just taking in some quiet time as well. I think the lack of sound in Antarctica, I've found anyway, to be confronting at times, because it's just deathly silent. But having some quiet time to yourself and taking in the beauty is a really important part of being down there as well.
I think it makes you grounded, because it
Mm,
shows you, that there's more in life than what you have seen. And it makes you
absolutely.
think about life, and, like Amanda said before, about nature and the globe. What are we doing in Earth? How we could do better
Definitely. Yeah.
for
Absolutely. So the activities that we include, when I talked about all inclusive before, I'm talking about all of the activities that we include. So every activity on this page, and that picture in the top left there might be a little bit hard to ascertain what that is. It's not a seal lying in the snow there. It's actually someone in a polar swag. So that's just an illustration of camping down there in Antarctica. We offer yoga, we offer kayak, we offer snowshoe, camping, I've just covered there. So all of those things are included. And normally our competitors charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to be able to add some of those activities onto the voyage. So all included with us. We also include complimentary Wi-Fi. We include alcoholic beverages at dinner time. We also include crew tips and gratuities, which is a really big one. So really, at the end of the day, once you book with us, your client just has to focus on getting on board and enjoying themselves. So the only additional thing we do ask to pay for is a day sail on board our yacht, which is called Icebird. And I'll give you a little bit more information about that in just a couple of minutes. So talking about the vessels, well, this is our St. Helena ship. She really blends traditional seafaring heritage with a contemporary expedition experience. So recently, she had a £10 million, that's GBP refit, and it introduced refined touches throughout the ship, modern cabin furnishings, enhanced public spaces, which really creates an atmosphere of like modern comfort and style. She was built in the United Kingdom. She's rugged, she's versatile, and she was the very last Royal Mail ship to be delivering mail around the world. And she obviously, by her namesake, was delivering mail to St. Helena Island as well. So the ship can hold up to 150 people, and we limit that down to 98, which is what I mentioned before. She has 8 cabin categories, which range from our entry-level Discovery quad cabins all the way through to our premium and owner suite cabins. And all 51 of those cabins have ocean views, ensuite bathrooms. We also have dedicated single cabins available with no single supplement. And we also do have some interconnecting twin cabins, which are great for families or groups of people that are traveling together as well. St. Helena is also equipped with panoramic observation lounges. She has 2 jacuzzis, a gym, a spa, a full science lab on board with resident expert science team. And she provides more space per guest than almost any comparable vessel down there in Antarctica as well. She's ice strengthened rather, deep draft. She has powerful engines, and she's really built for the Southern Ocean. So this gives you a really good idea of some of the panoramic observation lounges and some of those beautiful interiors that are on board the ship. Really comfortable light-filled spaces offering sweeping ocean views, perfect for wildlife spotting from there, photography, or just relaxing in between excursions as well, which is super important. And that reduced guest capacity of 98, we really feel like it's going to make these spaces just feel very uncrowded and just a little bit more exclusive. This is one of our bars, and the bar area really is tightly integrated into our connection and exploration philosophy because it's less about entertainment and it's more about building community, reflecting with people, enjoying the scenery, and talking about that with your fellow expeditioners, all while enjoying a beverage if you choose to as well. So our restaurant on board, it's beautifully designed, modern furnishings, natural light, but on board we're less about fine dining theatrics and really more about good food, warm service, sharing expedition experiences amongst the groups, which is obviously really in line with Terra Nova's connection over scale approach as well. This is just an example of one of our deluxe cabins, which are on average about 162 square feet. And then this is the same category, but in a twin bed configuration, which we can do. The superior cabin, this is in a twin configuration. These are about 150 square feet. And then this is one of our premium cabin categories, which is about 194 square feet. And like I said, all appointed with really beautiful ensuite bathrooms as well. So outdoor deck space is something that's really important, believe it or not, for the Antarctic, but it really gives you an idea of some of the generous outdoor decks that we have on board, because these are really fantastic vantage points for spotting whales, seabirds, ice formations. This area is ideal for guests who really want to make more of that outdoor connection. And they can do that with warm parkas and make sure that they're nicely warm as well. But yeah, you do use the outdoor decks more times than you would think, even down in Antarctica. This is just another view of that same outdoor space. So just a bit of an overview of the deck plan on board. We do have 2 owner suites. Those are really large cabins, actually. They're right up there in the top right-hand corner on the boat deck. 2 wraparound cabins, 430 square feet. They've got dining tables that can fit 6 people. So really spacious, and they connect really nicely with 2 premium cabins as well. So if you have a family who's wanting the children to be in a separate cabin, those interconnecting cabins work really, really well in that configuration. We have 3 of those premium cabins. We have 8 deluxe cabins, 13 superior cabins. We have 4 dedicated Odyssey single cabins, which, like I said, have no single supplement. 14 Odyssey twin cabins, 4 Discovery triple cabins, and 3 quad cabins as well. But as we're not utilizing the full inventory of the ship, we've got that number down to 98. Sometimes if you see something sold out, please ask the reservations team, is there any chance of? And we can always try and have a look at the inventory and see what we can do to open up some of those cabin categories as well. And this is our yacht, Icebird. She's a 61-foot aluminium expedition yacht, which carries just 8 guests and 3 crew on a day sail. Where larger vessels can't go into areas like little vistas and places that the ship can't necessarily get, bays and channels, those sorts of things, the yacht can, and it's providing a really intimate experience down there in Antarctica. So Icebird joins us in 2 ways: as a day sail experience, which is available on select St. Helena departures. It really just gives you an idea of life under sail in the Antarctic waters, which I can't wait to experience. I think it's going to be amazing. Or the second option is as a multi-day extension as part of what we call our Ultimate Antarctic Adventure, where you get to spend 6 nights on board before rejoining St. Helena as she returns from being across the Drake. And I'll give you a little bit more information about that as we go on too. So a day on board Icebird really is the closest thing to having Antarctica to yourself. For the upcoming season, it's $1,395 US per person. And for the 27-28 season, it's $1,395. So sorry, $1,295 for this season, $1,395 for the second season. It's very, very popular. So we do suggest that you add that at the time of booking if that's something that your clients would like to do.
And it's very intimate because
Very.
it's just, yeah. So
Yeah.
you could have your own group of friends and just go
Absolutely.
together.
Yeah, and we're the only polar operator, at least at this point in time, that's operating that down in Antarctica as well. So it's very unique to us. So just a bit of an overview of the Antarctica voyages that we offer. This is what we call our classic Antarctic voyage. It's a 9-night, 10-day expedition, high energy. It's an introduction to the Antarctic Peninsula, maximum landings, activities packed into the 10 days. It's perfect for getting a full peninsular experience quickly without any compromises as well. And it's a really great option for North American travelers specifically who might not have as much time as our Australian or European colleagues that seem to get months and months off every year. So excellent option for North American clients. And then we have a Spirit of Terra Nova, which is essentially the same, but it's an extra day on the peninsula. So 10-night, 11-day, just more encounters with wildlife, more time to relax, more landing times, those sorts of things as well than just the classic trip. And then we have our Polar Circle Quest. So this is an 11-night, 12-day expedition. This one really pushes south, and we do our best to get you down to that 66 degrees south across the Antarctic Circle. And just keep in mind that that's a really good bragging right, if nothing else, because less than 1% of visitors actually get to go down and do something like that as well. So a really unique itinerary as well, that one. And this is the Ultimate Antarctic Adventure that I mentioned that we pair with Icebird. So this is designed for really true explorers. So these voyages are roughly 19 nights, 20 days. They include 6 nights on board Icebird. And you just go exploring while St. Helena crosses the Drake in both directions. It's a hybrid expedition, so it just combines the St. Helena ship as well as Icebird, and it just delivers a really ultra-close small group access to places that other ships just simply can't reach. So really unique itinerary. And I just wanted to provide this as a bit of a graphic just to make more sense of that ultimate itinerary. So day 1 is boarding the ship St. Helena. Days 2 and 3, we're moving across the Drake. 4 to 7, we're exploring the peninsula on St. Helena. Days 18 to 13, on board Icebird exclusively. And then 14 to 17, back exploring the peninsula on board St. Helena, and between 18, 19, heading back across the Drake back to Ushuaia. So a big trip, but an incredible trip as well. And that one's filling up. It's doing really, really well. So again, if you have passengers or customers that you feel like would be a good fit for that, it's probably worth reaching out to the reservations team. So just to recap inclusions, of course, cabin on board the ship, meals. We have a buffet breakfast, buffet lunch, a 3-course a la carte meal of a nighttime, which includes beer, wine, and soft drinks as well. All shore excursions, those adventurous activities like the kayak and the snowshoe, expedition team, lectures, expedition equipment. So we'll give you a parka that you can keep, loaned muck boots to use on board, access to the doctor on board, pre-departure information, port fees, Wi-Fi, gratuities. So pretty much everything you can think of included. And then I don't generally go through the exclusions because I just like to sort of say everything that's not on the inclusions list is excluded. But you can see there. So personal expenses, accommodation upgrades, optional off-ship meals, all those sorts of things as well. So this is just a quick glimpse at our upcoming season. We are about 72% occupancy for this upcoming season, which for our first season is phenomenal. We're all very excited about that, but we still do have room available on almost all of our voyages. So if you have anyone that's interested in this upcoming season, first voyage will start on December 9th, with the last voyage ending around mid-March as well. And then for the 27-28 season, it is open for sale as well. This is a list of those. And I can also send out links to all of our information as well, where you can access this information quickly and easily. Solo travel is super important for so many these days, and we're just seeing more and more and more people interested in solo. So as I said, we have no single supplement on our Odyssey single cabins. We also have, for those wanting to share and wanting a cheaper price point, we have the triple and quads available where we don't charge any extra for those as well. But we do offer some flexibility for people who want a different cabin category that's not part of those offerings. So if someone does want those, we can accommodate those. There is a single supplement, obviously, that's on some of those other cabin categories like the deluxe and premiums, etc. And then, of course, we love groups. So if you have a group, groups of all different types as well. We have lots of birding groups and all sorts. So our standard group policy is if you sell 10 berths, the 11th berth is free of charge. And I just normally like to tackle those groups on a case-by-case basis. So if you have a group, we can always talk around commercials around that sort of thing as well. So feel free to reach out to me if that's of interest to you. We have also created a dedicated travel advisor page. It really just acts as a one-stop sales hub for you. It has everything from our brand story, provides product clarity. It's got our access to our booking tool in there. So everything that you could possibly need as an advisor, you'll find on this dedicated page. And we also have a user-friendly booking system, which allows you to quote, hold, and manage bookings as well. And if your agency is looking for an API feed and connection, we can also accommodate that as well. So why choose Terra Nova? So just to recap, Antarctica really changes you, and we are here really to honor that. Terra Nova was created to protect the raw, quiet power of the white continent. We really are here to do that. We travel with fewer than 100 people, so closer to the water, the wildlife, and really just the truth of Antarctica as well. We're not a cruise line or a luxury brand. We're an expedition company at heart. Our ships are intimate. Our team's deeply experienced. Every voyage is built around connection to both the landscape science and, of course, to each other, our other expeditioners and the expedition team as well. We don't chase extravagance. We chase meaning in what we're doing. We don't follow industry cycles. we don't promise perfection, but we do promise an authentic experience. And for travelers seeking the real Antarctica, for advisors who value trust, and for a world that just needs more wonder, I think Terra Nova is here to be able to deliver on that. So small ships, big experiences, and really a continent that just will stay with you for life. Which takes us to question time.
Okay, I'm gonna thank you, Ross and Amanda. I'm gonna give you guys, for those that are viewing, some time to type your questions. I do have some questions for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, what type of traveler would you say is the ideal Terra Nova guest?
You want to answer that one, Amanda?
That is a good question. I think, oh gosh, we have voyages that are suitable for such a wide range of travelers. Everyone from students in high school and university, and we also have voyages that are suitable for people in their later life. I've seen 92-year-olds successfully travel to Antarctica and love it. So I think the neat thing about what we're doing is we are versatile and in who we can accommodate. I don't think there is an ideal traveler, but I do know we are trying to widen the road of opportunity in the path for people to get down here. So we like to see a more diverse group of different ages and different backgrounds come down and with us, ideally. So yeah, I don't know if that's the right answer, but
I think that I love the answer. Thank you. I mean, and I think if it's fair for me to say, before the X-Bow style ships became the new small ship cruising, I was fortunate enough to travel on a much smaller expedition ship, and I remember being on that ship and being told, "We're never going to travel on those X-Bow ships. That's not expedition cruising." And I think a lot of those people we appeal to. We appeal to those people who are looking for that really rustic expedition exterior that I think St. Helena has. The smaller group feel, which I think has been lost or diluted a little bit amongst our competitors. So it feels more authentic. It looks more authentic. It's comfortable. So those people with that true sense of adventure, I think, is who our ideal customer is.
And what about for a first-time cruiser? What would you recommend to the advisor how to sell it, since they haven't experienced anything?
I think
I'm doing tough questions. I'm sorry.
Sorry, is the question the advisor hasn't cruised yet, or the customer hasn't cruised yet? I missed that part. Sorry.
Hasn't
The
cruised yet.
client.
It's the first cruiser. So
I
how
think.
would you
Sorry, breaking up just
I
a little bit
lost you.
there.
Okay. How would you suggest for the advisor to treat that? Because that client doesn't have a previous experience cruising anywhere, ocean or river. So what will motivate them? What would you say, like maybe three things that you will tell the advisor that to use to motivate that first time cruising person?
In some ways, I think the fact that they haven't cruised before is actually a real benefit, because I think a lot of people come in from being on large ship cruising with expectation about what cruising is. An expedition is not that. So I think those are actually ideal, is to get those customers who haven't experienced another product. I think it's about making sure that the customer understands no 2 days will ever be the same. They need to be really agile in the way that they look at, because we'll provide you with a list of these are the places that we're going in a day, but you might not necessarily actually end up doing that, because as Amanda said, something else might grab the attention of the expedition leader. And so it's important just to, I think, illustrate to them that this is the sort of trip that you won't follow a standard itinerary, and you just need to have the agility to adjust to that. It's about really getting to know the people who are around you. I mean, I've come off expeditions myself where I've seen people crying because they've built such strong relationships with people on board in a very short period of time. So I think it's about, approaching it with an adventurous spirit. I think it's about being open to building really strong relationships with people in a short period of time. And I think it's about appealing to people who really are conscious about the world that we live in, that they want to have an immersive experience within the wildlife and just come back changed and kind of think, what little things can I do in my life that are going to make less of an impact, or less of my footprint on the world, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that adequately answers that question, but those are the sorts of things
No,
that I think are important.
you did. I mean,
Yeah.
it's super important because it is an experience that changed you. So let me put it that very clear. You guys have been showing off uh how the trip will do that. So if any advisor at some point is trying to sell it to a client and the client is still not grasping the what the trip is it and why they should go, feel free to contact Russ, okay, because
Absolutely.
he will provide you with anything you need in order to show that client and close that deal. um, because it's called expedition, some people think that it's super active. So, how physically demanding is the trip? Like, I know that you mentioned that for people that don't want to go out, they could stay in the ship and just watch and take
Hmm.
it all over in. But in terms of the ones that go out, how demanding will be? How physically demanding?
I can speak to
Amanda. Yeah.
Happy to. The neat thing about the operations is it can be as active or as subtle as you want it to be. On every landing that we do, we will have often a path or a trail that is marked out and scouted by our expedition team. And for those adventurous hikers and trekkers, and if there's snow, they can be snowshoers, they can go off and do a big exertion of energy and uh, physical a physical experience. But if you want to just sit on the beach where we land you in the Zodiac and sit next to a penguin and hang out with it for a couple hours, you're welcome to do that as well. So I think Antarctica, it's a place for all types of people. There is kind of a standard, of course. You have to be able to walk up and down some stairs confidently and by yourself. You have to be able to get in and out of a Zodiac, which can be compared to getting in and out of a bathtub, uh, kind of. And you have to have
Hmm.
no major health conditions. So, no major life threatening allergies or things like that. So, that's kind of the physical requirements in a nutshell. But how much you actually exert during operations and activities is really up to you at the end of the day.
Right. Thank you for that. And I'm pretty sure that some advisors have provided you some feedback in terms of what their clients are saying. So, what would you say? And I think this will go more to Amanda. Uh, are the favorite moments that people have shared with you guys from their clients after the trip?
That is an interesting question because we have not had an operational season yet. 26, 20,
Oh, yeah.
we are
Sorry, that this is the first one.
yes,
Okay, sorry,
but I
my bad.
expect them to be superb. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And we can. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good answer, Amanda.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
I
no
should have.
problem.
And for people that are worried about crossing the Drake Passage,
Hmm.
how rough it really is. I mean, is it like that all the time or it varies, right?
It varies. Yes, it definitely varies. We have sometimes what's called the Drake Shake, which is quite spicy seas. You can have big swells, and for those who get seasick, it can be a little bit tough of a journey. And then there's also days you cross, and we call it the Drake Lake, where it's quite flat and very mild. What you're going to get is something you can't really plan for and you can't really
Mhm.
predict. So that's the unfortunate aspect of it. However, modern day medicine provides lots of ailments for seasickness. I personally have seen a lot of success with those little patches. Terra Nova is one of the unique operators that offers this headset that actually helps with seasickness. It's a VR headset called Sea Level,
Oh,
and it
nice.
provides a false horizon, and it apparently it works wonders. So we'll have
Hmm.
those on board. You can actually pre-book them with your ticket online. But yeah, there's a few ways you can cope with it if you're worried about getting seasick. But I think it's also part of the experience crossing the Drake Passage. It's a pretty exciting body of water on a lot of levels to go through. So
It's a bragging right for sure. It's all part of the experience. Yeah.
Well, I like that you have that. I mean, I don't think I heard of that before. So
Mm, yeah.
thank you for that.
yeah.
Uh, I try to avoid some of these, but what commission opportunities are available for us?
Commission is really based on the type of agency that it is that's booking, and so there's a few different things. Is what we offer to polar dedicated agents versus agents who sell a lot of different product. It does vary, and it also varies on production too. So it's really a one-on-one conversation that I like to have with each of the different travel agencies to establish what's going to work for both parties.
How far would you say that clients should book the experience? Because I know you show us already that it's more than half book. So how
Yeah.
far you're predicting that they should be considering booking?
Well, it's funny because Antarctica always used to be one of those itineraries that would book 18 months ahead of time. And I think what we're seeing these days is a lot more shorter lead time. But I would say at least, like 10 months, something like that ahead of time to be able to secure the types of cabin that your clients are looking for sure. Yeah.
Great. Amanda, you have been there before. So this is the spot moment. What would you say is the most unforgettable wildlife encounter that you had
Oh,
in
that
the
is a tough
past?
question.
Because you had many. I'm pretty sure you have many, but well,
I've
which
had
one is the most unforgettable one?
I've had one or two. Okay, the one that came to mind was we were cruising from the peninsula up to South Georgia, Falkland areas, and we were cruising through the South Orkneys, which are just a little set of islands down in the Southern Ocean. And we're going through these enormous tabular icebergs, and the sun is setting, it's golden hour, and the boat comes to a real slow crawl through these icebergs, and you hear it before you see it. But there were just spouts of whales in every direction you look, just
Wow.
and it was estimated that there were about 2,000 of them all around us,
Oh,
just feeding on this enormous krill swarm. And yeah, I was down there with my husband, and it was just a really cool moment to share, and my expedition team, and just all of it was just fabulous. And yeah, I think that's one that I won't forget anytime soon. Golden hour is a
What
cool
an
time
amazing,
experience.
uh,
Yeah,
amazing. That one thing unforgettable, that's for sure.
definitely.
So I don't see any other questions. Gosh, I was the one making the question, but that's okay. Uh, I want to make sure that everybody remembers Terra Nova Expeditions. Okay, feel free to reach out uh, to Ross or reach out to us at VacationPort, and we'll be more than happy to connect you. They are in the agent port, so you can find their information also there. And I want to thank everybody for joining us, especially Rose and Amanda.
thank you.
And I
Thanks
think
for
that one of the biggest takeaways from today's Antarctica is that it's not just another cruise, it's a life-changing expedition. And this is the kind of journeys that travelers remember forever. And as travel advisors, we have the privilege of helping make those dreams a reality. So, on behalf of all of us, thank you again for Terra Nova Expeditions for joining us today, and thank you each one of you. We hope today's session has given you the knowledge and confidence to introduce Terra Nova to more of your clients. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar.